And this is the first time that I'm even going to address the woman across the table from me, Zenaida, sorry. Because everything prior to this has never been in regards to this Zenaida. This, ma'am, I saw her MySpace page, which was forwarded to me anonymously or, from tipsters and things like that during this process in July as well, saying, this is a Zenaida. Could this be the Zenaida? I got hundreds of those because of the age and because of all the other things that were listed out. The description that my sister gave my parents, the description that my sister gave the police, the fact that my sister said that this is not, that when they showed a picture of her and said no, all those things, that has never been, that's been poppycock the whole time. That's been, if there was a chance that was the Zenaida,
right, let's go.
Her and I would have had conversations well prior to this. So. I don't know how I could be more clear than that.
Now, are you aware that your sister has said that she never looked at a picture of Zenaida and denied ever looking at a picture of Zenaida Gonzales?
For this,
yes.
This lady right here?
Yeah.
That's news to me.
Okay. Now, your recollection has been refreshed. You do now remember that your mom called you and said, yes, Casey hasn't been home for 2 weeks. You got online.
It was even a little longer than that, yeah.
You start looking. You start trying to track her down. Mm-hmm. You become worried.
Oh, sure.
You then, at some point in time, did track Casey down, didn't you?
Never got to see her.
But you found out where she was.
No, I never. I tried to go where she said she was going to be. She wasn't there.
How did she say?
I called her.
Now, let me ask this question. Did she tell you where she was going to be?
No, my sister had no idea that I was looking for her.
Who were you talking to about where she was?
I didn't find out from anybody where she was going to be. I found out online through like Facebook and MySpace where she was going to be at a party.
Right, because I've looked at that MySpace business, and you found out on MySpace that she was going to be at a party.
I actually found out at Facebook specifically that she was, yes.
Excuse me, I'm not as good about Facebook and
right.
MySpace as you guys. But you found out she was going to be at a party, and then you went to that party, correct?
Yes.
And when you went to that party, where was this party?
The Dragon Room downtown.
Okay. And when you went to the party, did she know you were coming?
She ended up finding out from a friend of hers prior to when she would have showed up. She never did. So
a friend tipped her off that you were on your way to the Dragon Room. Okay.
Or that I was there, yeah.
And when you went there, she wasn't there.
No, I did not see her at all.
Did you wait there for her at the Dragon Room?
I was there in downtown, in the greater downtown area, probably until 3 in the morning.
And she never showed up?
I never saw her.
Is that the only time between, let's say, June 9th and July 15th that you ever went looking for Caylee and or Casey?
Yes. Yes.
Can I ask you a question? Because I'm being old, you don't know what all have you ever heard the word Xanax used to describe? Have you ever heard a Xanax called a Zanny?
A Xanax called a Zanny?
Yeah, is that a street slang?
I don't think I'm plugged into the street slang, to be honest. I'm probably the last person you would ask for that.
But you never heard of the word Xanax being used as
never heard that
as a Zanny?
I've never heard that before. No.
Or a Zanny nanny being where you take a Xanax and you pass out.
No, I've never heard that before.
Okay.
That's actually the first time I've ever heard that.
So for that month, the only time you really went was looking for either one of them was
the night of the 3rd, the morning of the 4th, yes, exactly.
To the Dragon Room.
Exactly.
And then when you didn't find her, did you continue your search for the two of them?
No, when I spoke with my mother, she said, I'll handle it. I don't need you to, you know.
And your mother said she was speaking to her every day anyway.
Exactly. They were fighting on the phone, you know, while I was calling my mom trying to give her updates anyway, so.
Now, and your mom, did your mom tell you where Casey was telling her she was?
No, at that point my sister was telling me and my mom that she was in Jacksonville, which I knew was wrong. I knew she was in Orlando somewhere, you know, just based on the conversations online, so.
So you knew that was false.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Let me run to something and come back here in a minute. Have you ever been to Sawgrass Apartments?
After July 15th, I went there, yeah.
Okay. Before July 15th, had you ever been to Sawgrass Apartments?
Never even heard of it. Wouldn't even have known where it was.
Did you know if Casey had ever been to Sawgrass Apartments?
Not to my knowledge. I couldn't confirm it, you know. I want to say that she claimed that she had a friend there, like a friend that lived in that, you know.
When did she tell you she had a? When did she tell you she had a friend at Sawgrass?
Sometime in July during a, whether it was a phone call conversation, you know, she was in jail, or video visitation. I mean, during that time is when, you know, I don't want to say I interrogated my sister, but, you know, when I would ask her, you know, any fact-finding questions, you know, it was during, and all that stuff has been, you know, released at this point anyway, so.
Who was her friend at Sawgrass?
Shoot. The name eludes me. I want to say it would have been a guy instead of a girl, but I don't think it was anybody she was close to.
Did he work there or live there?
I would think live there. I don't think I ever heard of her knowing anybody that worked there.
Change tapes.
Time is 10:02. We'll go off record. Time is 10:13. We're back on the record.
I want to go back to the Dragon Room that night. When you got to the Dragon Room, you asked people, had Casey been there that night? You did not ask anybody
Nope,
that?
didn't ask anybody, no.
You just walked in and looked for her and you didn't see her?
I showed up very early with a friend of mine, and I was looking actually for anybody that I recognized, you know, any of her friends that I would have recognized as well as her, and didn't see anybody like that.
What party did you discover was going to be going on that night? Who was having the party?
Someone that I hadn't met before, an acquaintance or someone of my sister's. It was like a birthday party or something. So, but like I said, I never heard or seen that person.
You stayed out that entire night till 4 in the morning.
About 3.
Looking for her.
Yes.
When you didn't find her, did you call your mom the next day or dad?
Oh no, I was on the phone with my mother that night. I was on the phone with my sister later on that night.
And when you talked to your
midnight or so.
You spoke to Casey that night.
Yes.
And what did you say to her that night?
Where are you? You know, Casey says, or excuse me, Mom says that you and Caylee haven't been home. You know, Mom wants you and Caylee to come home, at a minimum, Caylee to come home. You know, where are you? We need to meet up. You know, we need to make this happen. And
what did she say?
I'm in Jacksonville. I said, no, you're not. You're here. You know, you're in Orlando. I don't know if you're downtown, but you're in Orlando.
I'm getting the call from the judge.
Off the record.